Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So today I figured I would answer a couple of your questions about the RSG sliders. So a couple of you had asked within the last few weeks if I wouldn't mind doing just a real quick side-by-side, I guess a little bit more in-depth video on the RSG sliders. So as you guys know, the Tacoma has the angled ones. You can kind of see them pitching upward a little bit. It's a 15-degree angle, so it's pretty slight, but it does allow for a little bit better clearance off-road. Then of course we have the flat ones on the 4Runner TRD Pro here. But before I even show you that, I figured I would show you the AJT Design key fob lineup on the three rigs here. Well, the three rigs here. And you guys know we got Go Rhino boards on that one. But yeah, I feel like I never have all three of these in hand at any given time, so do a small flex on that. Those are awesome. All right, so how do I like them? So and I already mentioned this in my previous videos, but if you're watching for the first time, we do prefer the flat ones here on the 4Runner, just because when you got a family, they're just easier to use, right? For obvious reasons. It becomes a little bit better of a step. It doubles as a side step a lot better. Whereas this, you know, when you actually step up on it, you're only stepping on, you know, the end of it. So you're only stepping on the end of the actual slider itself. Whereas this, when you step up on it, you know, you are of course on the entire thing. Let me go ahead and show you a real demonstration, I guess. So you open it up. If you're gonna put your foot up here, I mean, you can, no kidding, be flat on it. And the ones I got have the little shark teeth, if you will. Forgive me, it's a little dirty and wet right now, but so with the extra grip of the shark teeth, it makes it, you know, super easy and great peace of mind getting in and out, in my opinion. And same for my kiddos and wife. My wife is 5'0", so her she absolutely needs some sort of running board. And if you guys are like me and you want to try to keep the house happy, you know, it starts with a happy wife, right? So you got to make sure you get those on there. And if it can dual purpose as functional rock sliders, frame savers, that's pretty cool. So we prefer that, easy to get in and out of. We'll hop in. So I normally put my left foot here, grab a steering wheel, of course, and pop in. That's what it looks like from the side. So pretty, you know, extends pretty far. Not to mention, this is going to prevent you from getting a whole lot of door dings. So I especially love that, as I mentioned before with the Go Rhinos on the Tundra. So getting out, I always just kind of kick my foot off. And this is why I like these more than the Predator side steps that typically come on the 4Runner TRD Pro. With the Predators, you have to, you know, kind of put your foot directly in the step. Whereas this, of course, is anywhere you put your foot, you're good. You can hop out, no problem. So I like that. And not to mention, I do think, I don't know, I think they look awesome. You know, especially with the kickout. This is the kickout, of course. You know, just a little bit wider flare there at the rear, and I think it just looks great. Not to mention, for my daughter getting in and out, it's an even bigger step that you can't miss and mess up. Obviously not as much traction on the RSG plate there. Whereas, you know, the little traction circles are up here. So, but still, super functional. Definitely love the look of it, and you know, they have a really good reputation for serving their purpose off-roading if you get hung up on anything. So let's look a little bit more at the Tacoma here. So there is the angle. All right. There's flat. Feel free to pause it, of course. I don't know, if you guys are like me, you like really look into this stuff before you buy them, and there's not a whole lot of videos on these. So I'll show you underneath, best I can at least. So pretty easy to install. I think it took about 2 hours altogether, and that is with sorting the parts out too. But I love the fact that they just bolt straight up to the frame. These were so much easier to put together compared to the sleek off-road rock sliders that I put on the Land Cruiser, if you guys remember. Like, those required so much, so much like finesse and, you know, tweaking things, adjusting, drilling into the frame. It took a lot of love and attention to actually make it perfect. Whereas these, you can't mess them up, which is why, you know, I definitely admire RSG for doing that. So, you know, RSG as a company, I've always had really good experiences with them too. And no, you know, they're not hooking me up with anything to do this video. Let me make that clear. Yeah, I just always had a really good experience working with them in the past. Because you guys know I got these on the 2020 Army Green 4Runner TRD Pro that I had. So great customer service when I bought them before, and you know, and I would like to say they replicated that great experience this time around. So what do you guys think? Which one do you prefer and why? And, you know, let me know if you ended up going with a different brand, what was their purpose for doing that? And for fun, we'll wrap it up with a quick Tundra little cameo here and just show you a good old-fashioned Go Rhino RB20 running boards. And you guys know they start a little wider up front, and I didn't realize this at first. After I bought my first set for the Army Green Tundra, I didn't know this until I put them on. I was like, wait a minute, this looks kind of funky. And I actually thought I put them on backwards at first, because like it kind of, you know, it makes sense for them to kind of get wider toward the rear maybe, but you know, it quickly grew on me, and I quickly obviously realized that this is correct. So yeah, and this one, I mean, huge step. I mean, it's very similar to the Ford Raptor, even bigger though. It's a bigger step, and this is finished in bed liner. So I even put on my, by the way, I put on my New Balance shoes before coming out here. And I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna be showing off my shoes, I can't be having my dad's shoes on. So put on some of my sporty ones. All right. Well, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the video there. Let me know what you think, and of course, you know, if you were to get these, which one would you get? Appreciate you watching. Till next time.